Now that you have a better idea as to the structure and the overall goal of your cover letter, we're going to give you a list of things kind of serving as a reminder of what you should and shouldn't do with your cover letter. Things that you should make sure that are included and things that you should keep out. Let's start with the do's for your cover letter. Always include a cover letter or email with each CV sent. Of course, this is a way to make sure that you are creating a fresh letter, and any expert will tell you that you need to do this for each job. Next, double check the job advertisement. Make sure that you are addressing all of the job criteria and that all the information is included that match your skills with the job criteria. Next, focus on what you have to offer to the employer. Match yourself to the job. Match your skills, your experience, your qualifications. Use your nouns, action verbs, and of course, some dynamic adjectives. Also, make sure that you are in line with the company philosophy and culture. Next, be positive. Use words that express a positive feel, like contribution, success, or I have an excellent command of. Next, use dynamic adjectives. We want you to communicate that you have character skills, but using some dynamic adjectives that give a little more color to this. Such as, for example, I have been described as a tenacious, adaptable, positive-minded goal setter. Next, make your enthusiasm for the job absolutely and abundantly clear. For example, you could say something like this: the idea of being able to work with macro marketing is inspiring, and it will allow me to use good phrases that have worked for others. Of course, anything that you know that has been successful, including many of the examples we give you, you can use those right in your very own cover letter. Next, be capable and be ready to discuss any sentence and information you put in your cover letter. Next, use your cover letter as an example of the fact that yes, you can write a professional-looking business letter. Be clear and concise. Use very simple and uncomplicated sentences. Be factual. Don't exaggerate or be arrogant. For example, you probably wouldn't want to say, I am the ideal candidate for the job. That's being a little bit extra arrogant. However, you could say, I believe I have the skills and experience that make me a strong candidate for the job. And lastly, always proofread and correct errors. And don't worry, because indeed we are going to help you more with looking at errors, a little bit of grammar, and ways to make sure your cover letter's clean in the last unit of this module in 1.5. Well, just as there are things that you need to make sure that you do, there are some things that you shouldn't do, or things to make sure you leave out of your cover letter. Here are the don'ts for your cover letter. Never use negative language. Don't complain about previous employers. Don't complain about your history, upbringing, current situation, etc. Don't express the work that you are sick and tired of doing. Don't explain how underappreciated and misunderstood you feel or felt from your last job. Don't sound desperate. Never say anything like, I need this job because I really, really hope I can work for your company. We don't want to sound desperate, do we? Don't begin every sentence with I. It just looks repetitive and actually is a bit boring to read. Don't simply repeat the information that is in your CV. Use your cover letter to sell yourself in a different way that isn't in your CV. Don't cut and paste from the job description. Don't put in too much information. Remember, you don't want to tell your entire story of your entire life. It's a way of introducing yourself. Just give the reader a taste. And don't mention salary because, well, it's not the place nor the time. And of course, there is no need to mention any of the following information that is technically illegal. Anything in reference to your date of birth, your age, marital status, religious affiliations, or really any other personal information. And with that, my friends, the do's and the don'ts.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Handler, and in today's video we're going to look at two phrasal verbs, come back and go back. So the first meaning of come back and go back is to return, but it depends on your perspective, okay? So imagine you're at a beautiful hotel and it's your last day there, and you tell the receptionist, oh, I have to come back soon. So you're at that place and you want to return to the same place where you are, okay? And then you get home, and a week later you're talking to your friends about this wonderful hotel in this beautiful location, and you say, oh, I can't wait to go back. So you're looking at it from a distance. You want to return to a place that you're not in at the moment of speaking. Okay, so that's come back and go back, meaning return. Come back also means to return, but to a good condition, to a favorable condition. Okay, so imagine you suffer an injury. Maybe you're a runner and you hurt your leg. Okay, you go to the doctor. They say, okay, your leg is better, but you're going to have to do some physical therapy, special exercises and things to come back to your original shape, okay, your original condition. So after you do all that exercise and all that physical therapy, you make an amazing comeback. So you come back from that injury, all right? To go back can also be used to talk about setting your clocks back an hour. So in different countries, the clocks go back on different dates. For example, in Spain, I think the clocks go back in October, but in the United States, they go back in November. So there's a week or two there where the clocks haven't gone back in the US, and it can be confusing if you say, I'll call you at 5 o'clock Spain time. And they think, okay, what time is it? Have the clocks gone back there? So that's one use of go back. Another use of go back can mean when you change your mind about something. A typical expression is to go back on your word. And this means that you say something and then you change your mind and do something else or say something else. So I say, okay, I'm going to give away my bicycle because I don't want to ride anymore, and I'm going to give it to you. And you wait a week, you wait 2 weeks, and you say, hey, where's that bike you were going to give me? And I say, oh, sorry, I gave it to Charles. The person would say, hey, you went back on your word. You said you were going to give it to me. So notice these two verbs have a lot of different meanings. Stop, go back, watch the video again, and learn them well. I'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Anna Collins. In English, we have the expression to keep an eye on someone, to keep an eye on someone. But what does it mean? To keep an eye on someone means to watch or monitor something or someone. For example, with small children, you need to keep an eye on them and see what they're doing. They're more vulnerable, they can get into trouble. So you need to keep an eye on them. Or maybe someone new in the office has just started working and your boss says, can you keep an eye on him or her to make sure that they're okay? Monitor them, make sure they're okay. You could also use it in a more negative way when you want to keep an eye on someone because you're suspicious of them. So you want to monitor or watch their behavior. For example, keep an eye on him, I don't trust him. He could steal something. So now, whenever you want to monitor or watch someone, you can use this expression, to keep an eye on.
Hi, this is Greg Backus, and in this video, we're going to look at false friends. Listen to these examples. I don't accord your name. I don't accord the last time I went to my hometown. These are literal translations, but they aren't correct. We need to say to remember. I don't remember your name. I don't remember the last time I went to my hometown. So try not to translate literally to avoid this mistake. See you next time.